Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana has to fight here with decreasing volatility. It's getting a bit squeezed into an apex here. So obviously after the all-time high, Solana has been within this channel here for a while now and is starting to is continuing to move down within this channel. Volatility has lately decreased after we had a lot of up and down here in this descending channel. By the way, looking at AVAX is doing something very similar to what Solana did up here. Just check out the AVAX chart. It is also sort of in this region here where Solana was at around $170, and that just shows, and I do expect another sell-off for AVAX as well. Just for anybody who's interested in AVAX, it just is a bit later in its correction. I think it's also going to come down like Solana here in this channel, and Solana did what I still expect for AVAX, which is to hit that support level of that channel. Solana did that. Since it did that, it has moved sideways pretty much. Yes, there was a bit of a correction to the upside, but since then it's come down again, up and down, lower high, not bullish, and even it failed to break out of this descending channel. It's back into the channel, and we're getting close to some very interesting days because Solana now needs to decide what it can do. It is really getting squeezed here into this apex. It has to make a decision. It can't move on forever here sideways at above around $81. So it's pretty much this purple support range in which we are between $75 and $85. That is the support zone. I can actually move down that support zone a little bit. I think it's rather this one. So between $75 and $81, $82. That is where we're currently finding big support. And you can see that horizontal support, that descending trend line is, you could argue it's a descending triangle, which would be then more likely to break to the downside. And especially as Solana failed to break out of this channel here a couple of times now, we could argue it might be more likely actually to break through this support zone to the downside. If that happens, I think we are going to see quite significant a price decrease of Solana. Quite a price jump to the downside, but only if it loses that support level. But there's really only two options. It can't continue really to move sideways. It either needs to break out of this channel. If it fails to do so, it will break through that support zone to the downside. And you could even argue that is here a bit of a head and shoulders pattern that's going on. Like that. And if that head and shoulders pattern breaks to the downside, that neckline, that purple support zone, and we add the height of the head to the potential breakout point, that takes us exactly into this target area, exactly to $55. And that is what I'm looking for. That is what I've been looking out for. And you can even see this as a larger head and shoulders pattern if you want to do it. So it's certainly not bullish. You've got a left shoulder, you've got your head, and a big right shoulder. So all of that is telling me that we can, with a high probability, break to the downside. But then again, you never know until the breakout happens. I'm personally not a friend of short positions, so I'm not shorting here anything, but it would be an interesting breakout point, but it's a very obvious one. So there could be fake outs, like this one was a fake out, as well. So it's important to be aware of that. It's also a reason why I'm not a friend of shorting, especially not crypto, not in that volatile market here really. But this is really where it could be going, right? If you lose that level between $81 and $75, I think 55 is then the next level that we can expect for Solana. And that drop could happen quickly because on the 4-hour chart, you still have room for further downside. The RSI is not in any way oversold. Also, the daily RSI did manage to recover here recently, and it's at around 40, a little bit higher, so it can drop at any point, and also show some more significant price moves. And the daily MACD is also moving down. So you saw here a bearish crossover again after Solana failed to break out of this descending channel. So summary for me is really, it is looking bearish. We have a series of head and shoulders patterns here. We are getting squeezed into an apex, and for me that looks very much like a descending triangle, and it's if it breaks below that $75 to $81 support level, then we can expect that $55 price, which is and has remained my primary expectation here throughout. Of course, you never know until a breakout happens, so at the moment it's all speculation, but I feel it's important for everybody to understand what could be coming. And yeah, we don't know which support or resistance is going to hold until it really breaks. So if you move to the upside here, again, it was fake out a couple of times. Until you move above this 50-day moving average, for me, there is no confirmation really of that breakout. It was rejected at the 50-day moving average here a few times now, so I would want to see that. If we take a look on the daily chart, you could even argue, if you don't take the wicks into account, that we have here a descending wedge, which would be a rather bullish pattern. So that is what I mean. You can draw these in, they are sometimes subjective. You can draw these in numerous ways. For me, the reason that we did not break out of this channel for a couple of times, that we've got a bearish MACD crossover and that we have head and shoulders patterns here going on, tells me actually that it's probably more likely to break down than up. But yeah, the descending wedge, which just shows you that the downtrend is slowing down, which it is also here a possible pattern, which would be rather bullish. But also in this pattern, we're getting here very close, or we are already at the breakout point in the apex. So I expect either today or tomorrow to see here some more volatility. All right, that's my view here on Solana. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.